Don't fail me now, I need you as
Once you become aware of everything, you start to see all for what it really is, not for what you want it to be. And then you begin to accept it. And then you begin to accept it without the desire to change. You begin to then take accountability. And then you begin to forgive yourself, forgive others. Then you take responsibility, and the responsibility comes with learning how to self-regulate, how to develop systems that keep you grounded, how to become your own solid foundation, create very solid foundational structures for yourself in order to learn how to navigate so you're not finding yourself back in the same patterns, back in the same cycles. So for me, again, when I'm talking about prioritizing my spirit, I know that meditation and prayer are a must for me. They are a must. Like, I cannot go out and about without implementing prayer, meditation. That's like breathing for me, because in this chaotic and crazy world where, you know, people are living in fear and in anxiety and in worry, which are things that help this matrix, help this system, this machine thrive. You need to develop a connection with yourself. You need to develop a system that helps you to fortify and cultivate everything that is within you, so that you know what you know, despite what anybody is saying around you or doing around you, because what works for one isn't going to work for another. When we come into this world, we are born, and the moment that we're born, from the time that we receive a birth certificate, from the time that we are taking blood from the sole of our foot, we're become fragmented. We're becoming to lose a part of our soul and essence as we're entered into a system, into a system, into a matrix, if you will, into a society, you know. And I feel like these are things that people aren't fully aware of, and why it's important for us to begin to practice and implement our sovereignty, to practice and implement our autonomy, not relying on governmental structures and institutions to not only validate our existence, but to tell us what to do. So cultivating a system to help you to stay grounded, even when everything and everyone around you is in chaos. You know, like, there is a level of importance there. And I'm finding that today, you know, more and more people are beginning to tap into themselves. And I only hope and wish that people begin to develop whatever practice that helps them to ground, to center, to listen and heed to what's taking place inside of them, rather than everything else that's outside of them. Everything out here is a distraction. Everything that's taking place inside of here is where we need to be focused at. And honestly, our body has its way of communicating to us what we need to. We know when we need to chill, when we're maybe eating too much of this, or when we're, you know, not getting adequate rest. You know, part of the reason why I went into holistic practices and holistic healing and sought after certifications is so that I could fully understand, and overstand the process of which we've been brought to today, which is we were once people that were farmers and herbalists ourselves, and we took care of ourselves. We didn't pay for water, we didn't pay for air, we didn't pay for the things that we're paying for now. And now we've become so dependent on a system for our very survival, and part of holistic healing for me has been reclaiming that on a whole level, on a healing level. Like, I don't depend on a doctor to tell me what to do with my body. I know when my body feels something is off. I know when I'm eating, again, too much, or I'm not sleeping, or I'm not drinking adequate amounts of water. I'm not spending enough time outside in nature where I'm connected to the earth. So these are all things that are vital to our survival and heavily important, and I feel like people, once you go down the rabbit hole and you start to discover the things that have taken place without our consent from the time we were born and entered into this world, people would be shocked. So I think it's really about time that we as a people begin to reclaim ourselves in all aspects, to understand that from the time that we're born and we've come into this realm, to this world, that we've been fragmented. We've been cut into pieces, separated from ourselves, separated from our own divinity. We all are divine. We all have a purpose, a gift, a mission here. And I feel like we have to step into that. We have to acknowledge that. We have to be able to connect with who we are as an essence rather than who the world wants us to be.
That's important. Shia for president.
You know what? So when I say that we've been fragmented, the way that we take our power back is through our body, which is also why I advocate for holistic healing. This is why I have received my certifications as a certified master herbalist and a natural health professional. And in the process of that, I've learned about the body systems, how we've gone through 9 stages of development to even become the human organism that we are today, and why it is important for us to not only implement and practice and implement meditations or self-regulating practices, but sound healing and aromatherapies, herbal essences, flower essences, practicing healing modalities that apply for all of our bodies, because we are not just physical matter. We are energy as well. We, like I said, go from 9 stages of development. I believe we start off as an atom. We go from an atom to a molecule, then we go from a molecule to a macromolecule, from a macro to an organelle, to cells of similar structure and function come together to create our tissues. The tissues come together of similar structure and function come together to create our organs, and those organs come together to create organ systems, which develops into the whole human organism. And so even in that, we go through these stages of development. We're going from energy to physical matter. So if we talk about healing, we have to talk about healing from a holistic perspective, to whereas we are incorporating energetic healing modalities. We are incorporating physical healing modalities. We are incorporating modalities that support our bodies as a whole. And here in Western society, we've been taught to compartmentalize our healing, our body. You have a back issue, you're going to the chiropractor. Yeah. You have a problem with your foot, you're going to the foot doctor. I think it's called a podiatrist maybe. But we have to begin to look at our body as a whole organism, to realize that when something's off with us physically, it's probably started energetically first, emotionally first. We have to start recognizing our emotional body. We have to start recognizing our energetic body, our physical body, our mental body, and look at us as whole, complete beings. And this is how we take our power back, through our body. It's not an overnight thing. It is a process of unfoldment, and it happens in layers. Essentially, your story is what shapes your purpose. Accountability, awareness, acceptance, maintaining your homeostasis. These are all parts of the process. It was really important for me to have this conversation here at this house on these grounds. Obviously, this is the place that I experienced a lot of that childhood abandonment. I developed some of those patterns and learned behaviors, but I've been able to alchemize and transmute those experiences, and it's been really beautiful for me staying here and having the privilege of being in the home that I experienced so many of these things in, and then now coming back here and viewing things from a holistic perspective and realizing the beauty that I'm surrounded by. I have herbs that are here that can be utilized directly from Mother Earth that I can use for my teas, for myself, for my well-being. There's mugwort here. There's echinacea here. There is plantain here. There are so many herbs that are beneficial and that are
master herbalist.
Yeah, you understand. You understand. So I practice gratitude. I am so grateful for where it is that I am now. I'm probably the happiest that I've ever been since being a child. I absolutely love myself, and I tell myself I love myself every day. I make sure that I do what it is that I need to for myself, and I prioritize self-love and self-respect, and that is who it is that I am and where it is that I am, and I absolutely love it. Again, I look at myself in the mirror and I love who it is that I see, and I'm proud of that person, and I don't think that that's something that I felt in my earlier years. I was so disconnected from myself that I just felt lost. So now I'm found.
I want to say something.
What's that?
I find it a lot of times, because you just said, now you look in the mirror and you love what you see, and there might have not been something, earlier. And I just want to say, it's like, since we were young, I was always inspired by you. Mm-hmm. And I feel like a lot of times we look at people and we're so inspired by them, but those people may not necessarily feel a certain way about themselves. So I think that's so interesting, because you were always, a hard worker, a go-getter, a hustler, and I've always been inspired by you. So I just want to say I'm very, very proud of you. Very, very proud of what you've become, the beautiful young lady that you've become.
I appreciate it. The woman.
The beautiful woman.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But I'm still a woman. I'm still a woman. I'm a young woman. I'm a woman. I'm all of it. A young lady. But I will say that I appreciate that. And at those times when I was looking at myself in the mirror, I liked what I saw in terms of it wasn't that I didn't feel beautiful, but I didn't see anything beyond that. Right. I didn't see. Now I don't have to look at all of this to stare straight into my soul and to see that I love who that is. I don't have a soul. I am a soul. Yes. And I work every day to just exude love, to exude wisdom, to share knowledge and wisdom and what I've acquired along my journey. And if at any point that, I don't have to look at all of this to stare straight into my soul and to see that I love who that is. I don't have a soul. I am a soul. And I work every day to just exude love, to exude wisdom, to share knowledge and wisdom and what I've acquired along my journey. And if at any point that is inspirational for someone else, then I love it. But I'm not here to be that. I'm here to be me. And I appreciate that. And I'll also just add to that I feel that's the case with a lot of people. Put a lot of people on a pedestal, and they're not, all it is that we make them to be, so that is why our primary focus is always within.
I am a soul. I don't have a soul. I am a soul.
I am a soul.
I love that.
And what does that look like for you? What is your soul here to do? What is your soul here to contribute to society?
So I'm leaving here a new person.
I love it. I love it. I love it. When I hear the word legacy, I think of what it is that you leave behind you, right? When you leave. And so,
what do you want when people think of Kenashia Douglas for years to come? What do you want that to be?
I want that to be, this is a person who lived, breathed, walked, and died in their truth. A person who, again, demonstrated healing by their way of being.
Did the work.
I have so many goals and dreams and desires that don't include myself, in a sense of it's what I'm doing for humanity. It's what I am contributing on a creative level, on a spiritual level, on a physical level. So when I speak about legacy and what I leave behind, I want to leave behind people that saw someone who actually demonstrated their healing, who lived in their truth, who walked in their truth, who, by a way of doing that, sprinkled a little bit of their magic everywhere, in whatever form or facet that is. I'm not necessarily against studying, being something and someone, or attributing a title or attaching a title to my legacy. I'm just more so attributing who she was as a person. Like her energy, her essence, how she made people feel, and that's more so what I'm concerned about. For me, I feel like I leave a legacy everywhere I go in how I demonstrate, where I'm opening the door for people, when I'm greeting people, when I'm having a conversation with whomever. It could be the janitor, it could be a homeless person on the street, it could be, I don't even want to say a president, because what's that? But it could be, what someone would deem a king. Everybody, to me, nobody's on a pedestal. So for me, it's just really about being in essence, being an expression of God, being a woman of God, being a woman of my word, being impeccable with my word, and consistently person who sought out wisdom and sought out herself. So one of my favorite sayings is, you don't know what you don't know. So you learn through the process, and the school is in the people. So we learn more from people and our experiences than we do in an institute. So that's a different level of knowledge. Again, we talk about knowledge versus wisdom, or knowledge is something you learn in a book. That's school, that's the indoctrinations, those are programs, those are different things. But you really learn and acquire so much wisdom through people, through your experiences. And so if we begin to look at our relationships and the people who cross paths with us and the people that enter into our lives as experiences to learn from, it will really help us not necessarily over attached to things, like things are supposed to be a specific kind of way. Some people are just in your life to teach you something. You know, I happen to believe in soul contracts, you know, karmic debt, karmic relationships, things that are coming to you via way of, again, you choosing your path, your destiny from a higher perspective before you've even entered into this world. And so, again, if we continue to look at life as an experience for learning, as an experience for growth, as an experience for expansion, and not hold on to certain things so tightly, I feel like we'd be much more evolved as a people and a society at large. As far as an exit, I think it would just be persistently seek yourself, to know thyself in and out, to develop and cultivate a relationship with self, to trust yourself, to trust yourself. Nobody knows what's best for you but you. Nobody can tell you nothing about you that you can't tell yourself about you. We have, our intuition is an internal compass. It will never steer you wrong. And truthfully, if you ask me, there is no wrong or right. There just is. It's always something to learn from. And if you keep that in mind, you'll never go astray. You stay close to you, you know, and you don't let the outside world dictate who it is that you are, how you move, and what you do. And as long as you do that, you'll be all right.
Well said.
Don't feel me now, I need you wishes. Don't feel me now, I need you wishes. If there's a monster inside of it, well, I'm gonna keep it clear. I wish you would take all these things and go. There's no more we need to know.